What is going on, Poke fans? Welcome back to CCG Castle. In today's video, we'll be looking at Mad Party standard format deck featuring Brilliant Stars set. Yeah, it's been a while since we have deck like a Mad Party in a format. Obviously, last time when deck that was similar to the Mad Party was good in the standard was obviously back in the X and Y era with the Night March, but these days with Brilliant Stars been released and with Manaphy, we can again have some decent deck that's focused around discarding Pokemons in the discard pile and dealing the damage to our opponent for each of that Pokemon in our discard pile. The biggest issue for the Mad Party deck obviously is Spiritomb, because Spiritomb can cause a lot of damage to the Mad Party deck, and that's something that actually is really powerful. Spiritomb can put one damage for each of your Pokemon in discard pile, can put one damage counter to any Pokemon that you have in play, and basically after that you need to shuffle those Pokemons back in the deck. So that's the biggest weakness of Mad Party. So it can easily be countered by Spiritomb. But overall, if you are playing against heavily loaded Wii or VMAX deck with this Mad Party list, you can actually have a lot of success. Mainly because you can theoretically trade price for 2 price cards, and you can basically even trade price for 3 price cards. But the most important thing is that Mad Party, with the latest card that's been released in the Brilliant Stars set, which is a choice build, can actually hit for 30 more damage upon its active Pokemon Wii or Pokemon Wii Max, and that's very important. But there's also a downside as well, due to the double turbo energy that says that the attack of the Pokemon that this card is attached to does 20 damage less. So if we have in combination double turbo and choice belt, then we can increase the damage for 10, which is still decent. So the focus around Mad Party obviously is to set either way Bunnelbees or Poltergeists in play, and then we can start dealing heavy pressure to our opponent for each Pokemon with Mad Party in our discard pile. So that attack does 20 damage for each Pokemon in our opponent discard pile, that has the Mad Party attack. So theoretically speaking, we can attack for 11 times 2. So actually no, we have more Mad Parties. So we have 4 Bunnelbees, 4 Dedenays, 4 Poltergeist, and 4 Mr. Rime. So yeah, we can have, in theory, we can have like 16 of them, but yeah, we obviously not gonna have 16. We can have max 15 of them in discard pile, so they can hit for 300 with the choice been theoretically for 330 with just a single shot, which is a tons of damage. So that's the reason why list plays 4 Bunnelbees, 4 Dedenays, 4 copies of Sinistes, 4 Poltergeist, and 4 copies of Mr. Rime. So these are the Pokemons that we are going to have on the list. With the Poltergeist in play, we can use ability which is called T-Break. And in order to use T-Break, we must discard a Pokemon that has the Mad Party attack from our hand, and then we can use this ability and draw 2 extra cards. The good thing about Poltergeist is the fact that we can also hit for weakness fighting Pokemons, for example, Rapid Strike or Shifus, who are actually weak on the Psychic. On the other hand, we can just have Bunnelby in play, and attach double Chorus energy, for example, actually twin energy, and hit for 20 times the each Mad Party in our discard pile. So this deck also plays a single copy of Oranguru with the Private Wisdom, because sometimes we might want to keep that energy before we decided to throw Professor Research in the discard pile. So it's always good to have Private Wisdom Oranguru, and I kind of like that. But we also have fresh released Luminion Wii as well with Luminous Sign. This is the new Brilliant Star Wii Pokemon that says when you play this Pokemon from your hand on your bench, you might you might search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. Obviously, we can only play one Lumineon in this case because we're only playing one of them, and unfortunately, we cannot recover them back with Rescue Carrier because Rescue Carrier can only recover 2 Pokemons up to 90 or less HP. But situationally, Lumineon can bring us a victory, but it can also help us to get a specific supporter card, like for example Cynthia's Ambitions or maybe Rosanna's backup, but a little bit later about those supporter cards. And we also have one copy of Darkest Set Crobat Wii as well that can help us to set up and draw cards till we have 6 cards in our hand. And last Pokemon that I'm gonna mention is obviously Manaphy, which is the best card in my opinion that's been released in Brilliant Stars, just because it can protect bench from opponents' attacks, which means that some stage 2 decks can actually, and even stage 1 decks can be playable right now. In the past, before Brilliant Stars said they was not playable due to the Jolteon VMAX and the Rabi Strike Urshifu VMAX being so popular and also fast enough to take more than one Pokemon per turn. Additionally, this deck plays 4 of each Ultra Ball, which is also reprinted card from the previous sets. It can help us to discard 2 cards from our hand in exchange to search the deck for 1 Pokemon, which is awesome for this deck because it helps us to discard 2 Med Parties in exchange for specific Pokemon that we need. It also plays 4 copies of Quick Ball as well as 4 copies of Level Ball, but also 2 Evolution Instants as well. We also have 1 Rescue Carrier, which is here to help us to recover, if it's necessary, 2 Pokemons with 90 or less HP from our discard pile back into our hand, and also 2 new Collapse Stadium cards that are also part of the Brilliant Star set. I really like the art of the stadium as well. It looks like ancient place that's been, destroyed and abandoned. But it says that each player can't have more than 4 Pokemons in play. If a player has 5 or more benched Pokemon, they discard benched Pokemon until they have 4 Pokemon on the bench. The player who played this card discards first. If more than one effect changes the number of benched Pokemons allowed, use the similar number. So I kind of like this card because it actually helps us to discard something like Crobat or Lumineon Wii from play. So we can force our opponent to specifically knock 6 of our Med Party Pokemons instead of maybe 4 and 1 Wii. Additionally, deck also plays 1 copies of Air Balloon and 2 copies of Choice Belt that can help us to increase the damage done to our opponent Pokemons by 30. So, speaking about supporter cards, I decided to throw 3 Boss's Orders. There are also 4 Professor Research, and then we have Cynthia's Ambition, which is also a new card. It says draw cards till you have 5 in your hand. If one of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw cards till you have 8 in your hand instead. So that's a very good card because we can draw cards up to 8. Sometimes specifically this can be very, very good because we can draw up to 8 cards. Specifically, if we have, let's say, 1 or 2 cards in our hand and we have Cynthia, we can draw 6-7 cards, and then we can, potentially get some Ultra Balls and Quick Balls and Level Balls to discard some Med Parties. But it also features 1 Rosanna's Backup, which is also a part of the new set. It have 4 different abilities, and I'm gonna read all of them so you can actually see them. The first one is to shuffle a Pokemon from a discard pile in your deck. So you can choose one of your Pokemons and shuffle it back in your discard from a discard pile back into your deck. Then it says that you can shuffle a Pokemon Tool card from a discard pile in your deck, you can shuffle a Stadium card, or you can shuffle an Energy card. So you can specifically choose between those 4 effects and use one of them. And obviously we have 3 double Turbo Energies and 4 Twin Energy cards as well. And this is the deck list mainly focused around Mad Party. Biggest issue obviously for this deck is that I mentioned Spiritomb, but if we play against VMAX decks, we can definitely have good advantage against those decks, because we can trade 1 for potentially 3 prize cards per turn, which is always good for us. Even if we have slow start, we can always recover from the bad start due to the prize exchange at the end of the game. So this is the deck list. I hope you're gonna use it and try it out, because it's definitely working good. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel for more deck list videos, hit a thumbs up, and also make sure to visit ccgcastle.com if you're looking forward for maybe any specific card or maybe potentially even code cards for the game. We'll see you next time, so till then, have a nice day and goodbye.